Hello and welcome to the very first episode of something I haven't got a name for yet. Don't know, what's it going to be called? I don't know. So basically, everyone's got a favourite actor, or people like films, don't they? You know, that's what I'm trying to say. But like, you remember like, oh fucking hell, he was in that, I forgot he was in that. And that's what this is. So I'm going to use IMDB for this. And I'm going to start at the start of someone's career. And for my first choice, I've chose Corey Haim. And what I'm going to do with these shows is I'm going to go down IMDb and I'm going to tell you if I've got it, seen it, or its availability. Now behind us is a collection of two Corys, big box VHS, which are like hard to get a hold of. Now, Corey Haim has unfortunately been passed now for nearly 11 years, which is terrifying. Child star, struggled in his teens, tried to have a comeback and unfortunately died. So his availability, his films, he had some big hit films in the era. So first up was Moving In. Moving In is also known as Firstborn, which is there. Moving In. Has appeared on Netflix in the UK. Seen its light on VHS and it's appeared on Netflix, but apart from that it's not available. Very early role, and one of the things about this movie is Christopher Collette, who plays the bigger brother in the film, goes on to play Corey Haim's nemesis in Prey of the Roll Boys about 11 years later. And it's really cool because there's a couple of things in Prey of the Roll Boys where they're like, yeah, I know you from my childhood, and that it's pretty, you know, there's a couple of things there because they actually did. And there's a little bit more than acting going on there, especially if you see the Langoliers with Christopher Collette. You're like, dude, what's wrong with you? The Edison Twins, never seen it, 10 episodes. At this point he would have probably been like a child, never heard of it and never seen the light of day. Next up is Secret of Amira, which I do have on big box VHS. It's right in the corner there. Thomas C. Howell is in that. Corey Haim has a very small role in that. Then, big breakout role really, Silver Bullet, bang. Stephen King, a film that stands its ground, borrows a lot from Jaws. They didn't have a werewolf, so they just used techniques where you don't see the werewolf till the very end when they had a werewolf. Stars Gary Busey. Really good film, a bit like Stand By Me. It's told through the narration of the Childs, and it all happens around the circle of the werewolf that the story was based on from Stephen King. Corey Haim is great in it. He plays a kid who is disabled in a wheelchair, but his uncle makes him a hot rod superbike. Next up, A Time to Live. This is classed as a TV movie. It has been on TV in the UK and does float around on big box VHS. But when it comes to DVD, so far availability in the UK, Silver Bullet is the only one. And Silver Bullet has got a good following. It has had recently a release in Germany and in America. So yeah, more on that. I was a bit off track there as well because the same year he's a very busy actor. So you got like Secret of Myra, Silver Bullet, A Time to Live. He delivers quite a powerful performance in A Time to Live. Then we have Murphy's Romance, which I used to have until my mum chucked my collection out. Murphy's Romance, Sally Field and what's he called, man? James Garner. Has seen the availability. These are all just like gold dust. You just don't get a hold of them. Next up, Lucas. Obviously a lot of controversy over Lucas the last couple of years. Lucas is around somewhere. Up there in the top corner. Lucas has seen the light on DVD. It's not seen the light on Blu-ray. It's out on Blu-ray in the other countries now because of what's been really going down with that. It's not going to get like... I mean, it's one of those films where Arrow should really pick it up, you know what I mean? They picked up Weird Science, they picked up 16 Candles. Will they pick that up? Probably not. You know, there's a lot of controversy about the movie at the moment. Next up is Roomies, which was in 1987, which stars Burt Young from the Rocky series. Only 8 episodes, so it's one of those quick, short burst series, never seen the light of day. Then comes The Lost Boys. Lost Boys has obviously been widely available in every format and is part of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers like to rehash a lot of their films. Goonies being the other one. Gremlins being the other one. Where they'll bring out cover after cover after cover and just milk it and milk it. And even with The Lost Boys, they'll bring out sequels or anything they can really spin off. Lost Boys was a massive hit, always been available. Next up is License to Drive, which is their big box VHS. Has been released on DVD in the UK by a very small company that also did the likes of Mac and Me, Garbage Pail Kids, and I believe a quick run of Short Circuit. Hard to get a hold of. Has been released on Blu-ray across the world. A lot of people have seen it. Again, it's another 80s forgotten film. Then we're going to start getting into a little dark territory now. We've got Dream a Little Dream, which is one of the most hunted after films from my collection of my childhood. Right there, that film is batshit crazy. It is available on Amazon Prime now. Watches you can't really get anywhere. License to Drive. Was on Sky for a while. Don't know if it's still there. Don't have Sky. Can't be bothered with Sky. Dream a Little Dream is just batshit crazy. Then we've got Pray of the Roller Boys. Pray of the Roller Boys is at the top there. Pray of the Roller Boys is a classic 80s gem that I always scream that needs released by 88 Films or something like that. I love the score, love the action, love the idea that it's a film with people who've got rollerblades on all the time and the crime, and you know he's fighting crime. It's just got some heart. Following that, we've got Fast Getaway, which sits nicely up on the top shelf. At this point, Corey Haim's doing this. You know, the two Corys have peaked, but then both Corys have gone off. Corey Feldman would go off to be in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Haim would have this hit with Pray of the Roller Boys, and then I think the deal with First Independent. But following comes a bit shaky. So Fast Getaway, good action, good heist movie, been available on VHS, but then boom, gone. I've just got another message through. Again, this could get released. Next up is Dream Machine. Always tagged with Corey Haim as back behind the wheel. Always advertised as a teen comedy. It's far from it. It's more of a thriller, more along the drama scenes. Got a nice little score going to it. Never been available to buy on any kind of DVD. It's a VHS title. Casper, my friend, has got a version of it that literally looks like someone's made the best Photoshop box and just literally put a HD camera in front of it and just slapped it that way. Next up, Oh What a Night is around on there somewhere. Oh What a Night, very top shelf there. Oh What a Night, thrown back in the, let's go back, it throws you back to the 50s, doesn't it? So he did that, and then this is kind of where things get a bit weird for him. He tries to turn in a performance. You could put Oh What a Night with the idea of A Time to Live and Watches, where Haim can deliver a very serious role. And he was looking to step away from it. A lot of the productions where he took Watches, he was back in Canada, he wanted to be away of Watches. You know, he'd been in Lost Boys, so putting him in another horror film from the creators of Nightmare on Elm Street was a big thing, but then, you know, drugs got involved, I think. Next up, we've got Double O Kid. Now, Double O Kid is a total what the fuck movie. This is where bad decisions happen, I think. The execution of Double O Kid is terrible. The idea of making Corey Haim a fucking 16-year-old teenager when he's well into his late fucking mid-20s, he's just wrongly cast in the movie. The movie tipple-tables around. It's got some weird shit. It's got a bit where the guy's in the car and he's just driving the car and it's meant to be a girl, and the next thing you know, out of magical thin air, the car gets destroyed, gets flipped upside down, he gets crushed to death, and you think, it's just all happening in front of my eyes. And then more distracting, I've talked about my friend Casper. The cash pot, the main baddie, looks like Casper. Now, I've done a podcast for it as well as a review at random for it. But yeah, you can see this is where, whoa, that's going straight. That's going straight. Pray the Roller Boys had a picture run. Fast Getaway, I think, you know, that was really, there was a hype there. Dream Machine, and we just starting to tip down here. Next up, we got the reunition, or this, the reunition, which I don't think happened straight away, of Blown Away, when the two Corys, after a couple of years apart, teamed back up for a pre-picture deal. Blown Away, Nicole Eggert, who Corey Haim met on Double O Kid, who she was in, she was one of the Baywatch babes. They had a big relationship and weren't sure to show a bit of flesh in Blown Away. I like Blown Away. It's basically you take a holiday resort, ski resort that's out of season, go up there, take the film crew, make a mysterious drama, call it Blown Away, and the same year Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones go on a film called Blown Away. So it sort of gets lost in the shuffle. As I say, it starts to go down a bit there because the next same year you had Just One of the Girls, also known as Anything for Love, which is just there. Nicole Eggert star and Corey Haim takes a cross-dressing approach, dresses up as a girl. And at this point, it's starting to look a bit ropey for his career. He appeared in a thing what's quite rare for Double Switch, so sorry, Blown Away. Double O Kid's only ever been available on VHS, but has seen the light of Blu-ray on a German release recently. So Blown Away in Europe, it's got a bit of a following. Sorry, Double OK. Blown Away, that's a German release there. So Blown Away has been released on UK DVD. Cocked it up as well because if you check out, I've done a video about Blown Away, but 218s on the front cover, completely fucked the front cover up. And as well, yeah, it's weird as well because Corey Haim's missing from the front cover as well. It's like his name's on there, but whatever. Double Switch is something I've been trying to track down, which I believe was a Dreamcast game. Obviously Haim. I mean, I don't think that's the right way around. I'm sure Double O Kid and Double Switch were done about the same time, hence why he's got bleach blonde hair. Next up, we've got Last Resort, also known as Scuba School over here. Available on VHS, not seen the light of day on DVD over here. You don't see it, full stop. National Lampoons had just done a corker with Loaded Weapon 1. The household name, National Lampoons, the Vacation series, the Animal House, and then they did a few National Lampoons films like Crazy Golf or whatever they did. Last Resort was one of them where the execution was absolutely terrible. And they put big business into it. I was running around with, I got a massive Last Resort poster, I was running around with that the other day. Forgetting which video I was doing. Oh, I just did a video for Scuba School. If you check that out, you know, they tried to put it in, but the execution wasn't that good. Haim would then go off to do Fast Getaway 2, that got a UK release. Poor execution compared to the first. It's unfortunate. I think Fast Getaway 1 had potential. You know, it's an enjoyable watch. He's at the right age to do it. It's got some really good stunts. See from roof rocks in it. All the cast come back for the second one, but it just doesn't really go well. Next up, we've got Dream a Little Dream 2, which seen a release years later. It's fucking completely bipolar different film compared to its original. Both have only been available on VHS years later. Both are on Amazon Prime. Fast Getaways, never seen it. I've seen it an Australian version of Fast Getaway on DVD, but you just don't see the light of day. Obviously, this series as well. I took the two Corys, and yes, I'm going on a massive tangent. The likes of Christian Sarah, but other actors, you know, like it's just like, do you own them? Can you get them? You know, that kind of stuff. Just talking about actors. When I big fan of these, getting them as a kid is just not available. Because the next one's Life 101. I had that on an import. I think it's got Corey Haim's new girlfriend in there. Life 101. It's not really been available. Normally gets quite lost. Next, you've got Demolition High, when again chucking Haim into the aftermath of the Under Siege era. Demolition High is there. Hard to get a hold of. These have never seen release in the UK. By this point in the UK, he's fell off the market until the next one on IMDB is Never Too Late, which is up there. Which Haim took because he went back to Canada. He starred in a movie with very established trained actors, and he stands his ground in a small little role. A bit dopey in certain places, like, but that got released. And again, First Independent, you can spot the train. First Independent, you know, they were pushing money into him. For the Roller Boys, the two Fast Getaways, picked up the second Dream a Little Dream. I'm sure they distribute the first. Next up on there, Shooter on the Side. Never seen the light of day, never heard of it. All I know about Shooter on the Side is Corey Haim's girlfriend was in it. He wanted to be in it. Massive boo-boo. Artwork on the front cover, his name's on it, never seen the light of day. Next up, Busted. Wow, Busted is a bit of one. Directed by Corey Feldman, not seen the light of day. Has seen a massive release in the UK on DVD. Not only was it, like, you know what I mean, these cheap ones, you see them in a lot of these collections where you get like 10 films and all that. Film's fucking terrible. Sorry, Peeping Tom or anything, or Jill walking across the street. It is notoriously known for the film where Feldman was directing it, and the money was raised to have a new Corey film, and Corey Haim was off his tits. And Corey Feldman had to fire Corey Haim in the movie. And, you know, he's called Clifford, and he turns up and he's just absolutely out of there. He's just not with it. He then popped up in Batman and Robin and Fuck My Life until last year. I didn't know that. Just in the background. Corey Haim was meant to be Robin in Batman Forever. Read his autobiography. It's a heartbreaking story, but again, it's a downfall of drugs. But Joel Schumacher, director of The Lost Boys, obviously, you know, he had faith in it. Didn't happen. Next up, Snowboard Academy. Jeff Farley, Ernest, and Bridget Nielsen, who was in Double O Kid. Again, this is just a fucking hit or miss. It's snowboards versus skis on the slopes. One of my favourite films is Ski Patrol from back in the 80s. Again, it's only ever been available on VHS, but then got its release on being on Netflix, then gone again. From the Careers of Police Academy, fucking love that film. TJ Carter from The Thing is in it. There's a few familiar faces, and this potentially was going to do that, but again, it just didn't happen. Next up, we've got Fever Lake. Fever Lake is just there. Fever Lake is fucking weird as shit. It literally just rips off The Shining, slaps it with some kind of Friday the 13th, and you'll watch that and you'll go, wow. And it caters towards Haim's a fucking psycho, fucking wheeling axe, but then he's all sweet and innocent. Check it out, man. It's on Amazon Prime. Comes up with loads of different covers. You got The Curse Boy. Done the podcast for that as well. Just there's a bit where there's typing on it, all work and no make. Next up, you return with Demolition University. So Demolition High. Again, I mean, he worked a lot. I mean, if you look at that short set, I mean, IMDB says this was the next year and he was working. Well, it's just availability over here. Never seen the light of day. Now that's Demolition University. So what's interesting about that? The first one never came out, but the second one came out and didn't even put Corey Haim's name across the top. Demolition University, bang, douche. Like, okay. Next up, we got PS Factor. Now this is where you start to fall off good. PS Factor Chronicles of Paranormal. Never seen it, never heard of it. There's a one called Merlin, where he's called With. The next year. He's apparently in Wishmaster 2. If you check out The Good, The Bad, and What the Fuck's About Corey Haim, I'll watch this. And if he's meant to be the bank robber, nah. You know. So he's credited as museum burglar. There's 3 of them. So yeah, again, Big Wolf on Campus. When saying that, Wishmaster has been highly available. Again, there's 4 Wishmasters now. And then we've got Big Wolf on Campus. Check it out. It is on YouTube, that episode to watch. It's quite funny. I'm not sure which way around it is. I'm sure Corey Haim comes to town, and then Corey Feldman comes back in the next series looking for Corey Haim, and they're all vampires or werewolves and stuff. It's quite funny. It knows what it is. But again, never seen the light of day on here, physical release. Next up, The Backlot Murders. Has recently been released by the production company on Blu-ray, which I got sent to us. It's pretty cool. I did have the small box VHS of that. I did have it on DVD as well. If you've never heard of The Backlot Murders, it's pretty much they just made it on the bootleg on the backlot. You know, they're running around. You've got the Psycho House. You've got Bruce the Shark Jaws there. They're on filming on the scenes of Lost World, and it's like a Scream rip-off. It's Anne Corey Haim. It's poor. And it took us ages to work out who the director is, and because obviously it was that fucking voice. And it's the guy who plays Roger Rabbit, Charles Fletcher. Next up, Without Malice, which I believe is just fucking rare as fuck. Where the fuck is it? It's up here somewhere. It's there. Without Malice is about a brother-in-law going out with his brother, his sister's boyfriend. They accidentally shoot a guy, and it's all about dealing with like fuck. The thing is about it, I had a DVD again. My mum threw my collection out when I was younger, and I seen it going on eBay for £100, and I was like, fuck off. Like it's pretty rare, but then the VHS is even rarer in my opinion, because of all them up there, that will be the last VHS available. Right, so at this point, it gets a bit weird here because Dickie Roberts, the former child star, is on there, and that is highly available on DVD. Brilliant film, funny as fuck. Both Corys are in it. Corey Haim turns up at the end. You can see at this point, Corey Haim's been struggling. This is the point where his weight's really bloomed up. He appears at the start of the song, halfway through it. After that, on IMDb, we've got Universal Groove. Now that is the holy grail of Corey Haim movies. It's a film, was meant to be his comeback film in the mid to late 90s. It's credited in 2007 as coming out. Never seen it anywhere or anything about it. But yeah, hopefully one day that'll appear. Excuse me. So this is pretty much the end of the VHSs. So after that, we've got Crank 2, High Voltage, which was pretty much a big comeback for him. Crank 2 is highly available. He's rocking a blonde mullet in that. After that, we have Shark City, which is only available in Australia. It's about poker games and stuff. Another one after that is Trade-In. I just found Trade-In the other day. It was from Thailand. I ordered it for £9. That might come, it might not come. He's credited as Corey Haim in it. After that, IMDB is totally fucked because American Sunset actually has Big Wolf on canvas. Artwork, brilliant. American Sunset, also known as Hostage Games, probably one of his last great films. He turns in a great performance in that. And then we have New Terminal Hotel, also called Do Not Disturb in the UK, has a physical release. And then we have Decisions, and last but not least, The Dead Sea. Now, The Dead Sea, never been available. He just gets a thank you. He was meant to be in that movie. He died before it was even filmed. Decisions, artwork looked like it was going to be meant. It was proper guerrilla filmed around LA. It's just, again, you got to take them roles. The execution might not be there. Again, when you exploit someone who's got a name, you get them in a film, you get a bit of funding. But if you look at the end of his career, again, anyone needs to check out American Sunset or Hostage Game. It's an amazing film. New Terminal Hotel and Shark City, he's the and character, you know, pops up and he's and you know, he was a great actor. Unfortunately, just didn't do the right roles. Meddled in a bit of drugs, you know what I mean? Typecast. People get him and Corey Feldman confused all the time. I just have the fucking wrong names, and I'm a big fan of them. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So that's this new series, and all that muttering going down is, I just have no idea what this fucking one's called. But Haim was a good start. It could be anyone from Sylvester Stallone next or anything like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, do you own it? Yeah, it's available. Can you get it? No. But yeah, see it in the outtakes. Well, I guess I'm just going to call it IMDB Rants because, like, at the end of the day, my entire fucking unplugged script was just off IMDB. And IMDB just gets shit wrong. Do you know what I mean? IMDB does kick a few curveballs up. Are they? And I do not believe that Corey Haim was in Wishmaster 2. I really don't. I really don't believe that Universal Groove came out in 2007. No, I don't. So IMDB Rants. Aye. Again, just making content. Again, just sort of ranting, oblivious to the world. Right. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.